Hey friends, this is Wendy with STAMPIN. I'm happy you're here today. We are going to be using the Zany Zoo stamp set to make a really cute card. This stamp set will be available to purchase, this bundle will be available to purchase from me on May 2nd. It is part of the new catalog launch. And we're just going to get busy here creating some of the elements for this card before we put it together. So we're die cutting a little flag that's going to go on the card. And we are also going to do some embossing. And I've already cut my bits and pieces. And then we're going to make this card. Yes, we are going to have lots of story time today because we have a lot of stuff to catch up on. Like always. We always have stuff to catch up on, don't we? So here I used Highland Heather cardstock, and I will provide over on my blog a list of measurements for this card. I'm not going to do a project sheet because I don't think it's really necessary. It's just a few different measurements. So I'll provide them over there. This is part of the stripes. What is the name of these embossing folders? Why does this happen to me? Why do I start recording a video for you and I forget the names of things? I don't know. It'll be linked over on the blog, all the supplies. So how do you get there? There's links below this video. Really quick, before we get any further, I want to tell you the links below the video are really important. There's a measurements and supply list link that takes you to my blog. You got to scroll through the things and get your info. Okay. There's that. There's a link to the Creative Vault. You don't want to miss out on the Creative Vault. There's one more day to sign up for the Creative Vault and get 50% off your first month using the code VAULT. So there's a link below the video for that. Sign up for the Vault. You're not going to want to miss it. There's exclusive content in there, videos from me. We have an expert colorist that does a coloring video in there every month. We have a scrapbooking class every month. We've got 3D projects and fun folds every month. I'm telling you. And my upcoming paper party will be in there. So you'll be able to get access to all the videos. Once they're launched, you'll get access to all the videos. You'll get access to the PDF, all of that. You can't get it any cheaper than signing up for the Vault. I charge $35. Am I charging $35 or $45? $35, I believe, for access to my paper party if you're not part of the Vault. So for $14.95 a month, the value is incredible. I promise you. You are not going to regret signing up for it. Worst case scenario, you sign up for a couple months, you decide you don't use it or you don't want to do it anymore, and then you discontinue. But I think you're going to find that the value is well worth it. Okay, here I am just die cutting this little scalloped strip from this Highland Heather. This card really focuses, it's not totally monochromatic, but it's close. We use a lot of the same colors and focus in on that with this card. So now I'm die cutting this piece using my little boho blue machine here. I just love this little machine. This is one of the new in colors. You can actually purchase this machine now if you want to, or no, on May 2nd, I believe you can purchase it. So if you want details about that, let me know. But yeah, you're going to be able to buy it. So anyway, we're going to use the Zany Zoo suite or collection or bundle, if I can talk. We are copying the Mojo Monday sketch. So what I'm going to do is pop a picture of that sketch right here on the video for you so that you can see what it looks like. And maybe you will want to make a card using this sketch. I love card sketches. So for the month of April on my Creative Inspiration calendar, you can see there in the top left corner, I did a sketch every single Saturday. So if you go back and look at all of my videos or blog posts in the month of April on Saturday, you're going to see card sketches used for every single one of those. So my Creative Inspiration calendar is free, and you can get it in your email inbox, no problem. All you have to do is subscribe to my emails, and there's a link below the video for that. I told you, we got to talk about the links below the video. Everything you need is there. So, I'm just arranging my little llama here on my Misty stamping tool, and I am going to stamp in Hero Arts Intensified Black ink. That's what I use. So we've had a couple discussions about black ink pads. I have the Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I have the Hero Arts Intensified black ink. I do like both of them. The Hero Arts takes a tiny bit longer to dry. However, I do think it kind of inks up nicer. Memento dries immediately. They're both used for alcohol-based markers. However, the intensified black ink can also be used for watercoloring, I believe. It's a hybrid ink. So that's part of why I think it takes a little bit longer to dry too. So there's just a little info on this particular ink for you. So some of you know or don't know or aren't sure about what's happened with the Stamparatus. The Stamparatus was Stampin' Up's stamp positioning tool. Stampin' Up is no longer carrying it. I'm not sure legally what I'm allowed to say and not say, but you can just go Google. You can go Google Stamparatus Stampin' Up and see what comes up. That's the best I can give you. And here I'm using Highland Heather Stampin' Blends combo to color this chair, making it darker around the areas where the llama would be sitting and in the pleats. And then I'll use the light Highland Heather for the other areas. This is where okay, so let's talk about the coloring for a minute. I really wanted to maybe use Copic markers here because you get more depth with your shading. However, I was in a hurry and I knew it would take me time to sit and figure out my color combo and how to do it. So this is what I tell people, because people ask me fairly regularly, how are Stampin' Blends different than Copic markers? Are Stampin' Blends better than Copic markers? And this is always my answer. It's comparing apples and oranges. Copic markers are an advanced colorist tool. They have numbering systems, and you kind of have to understand and learn how to use that numbering system in order to use them. Stampin' Blends are, I just want to get this colored really quick, and I'm going to be super happy if I can just add a little bit of shading detail. That's what Stampin' Blends are. They are disposable markers. They don't have refills. Copic markers do. So I don't compare the two products because they're not comparable. Okay, they are two different products. The Stampin' Blends markers are an alcohol-based marker that's meant for beginners / quick, easy coloring. Copic markers are literally made for artists. So there's a much higher investment with Copic markers, much less investment with Stampin' Blends. There's only a handful of colors that Stampin' Up doesn't produce in their color line with Stampin' Blends. I'm not sure why that is, but it's a thing. And then the rest of it, no bigs, right? So I don't look at it like one's better than the other. I look at it like they are two totally different products. So I hope that helps you. Here, this is where this card goes wrong. Okay, so let's talk about meh cards for a minute. I'm trying to make a hardwood floor. I'm successful at making a hardwood floor, but this color is the wrong color. I shouldn't have used this color. And this is where learning coloring techniques is super important, because my friend Kelly would have known how to fix this. I do not, but I will someday. As I get better and better and better, I will eventually learn how to fix something like this. So I color this brown and I'm really unhappy with it. And then I'm thinking, now what am I going to color the background? I've got purple, I've got light pink, I've got gray, and I've got brown. I happened to be on the phone with my friend Kelly whilst we are talking, or while I'm recording this. And I ask her, what should I do? And she goes, well, the complementary color to purple would be yellow. So you could do a yellow background. Perfect. So I do a yellow background. I really like the yellow background. I don't like the brown floor. So there's a few things I could have done now looking back. I could have colored back over my brown floor with possibly a black, and it may have looked better. I really don't know how to fix it. I would need an expert to help me with that. Thus, intro Kelly. I didn't ask her how to fix it. She didn't see the finished card. I'm sure when she does see the finished card, she'll be like, ooh, girl, that one's rough, because that's how I feel about it. So this is one of those cards where it's like, I had a moment where I thought, I'm just going to throw this away. No one will be any the wiser. Nobody will know I ever made it, and I'm going to start over. And then I thought, absolutely not. We don't all always hit it out of the park every time. This card is what I call a meh card, M-E-H, meh, which means I don't hate it. I certainly don't love it. Could I have done better? Yes. But without, I don't even want to say mistakes, because I don't feel like this card is a total mistake. I just feel, like I said, it could have been better. I think all the elements were right. Adding that cute embossing texture in the background was good. Adding the scallop at the bottom of the panel was good. It's literally just that brown floor that is throwing everything off. So, I'm not exactly sure what I could have done differently other than making the floor maybe a gray, or a different color. Anyway, at the end of the day, I decided to keep the video going, and I decided to keep the card in because I think it's super important to show you the truth, that we can have an idea in our head and it can just not come to fruition. And that's what happened with this card. The concept was cute. The idea was good. It just didn't quite come together. And again, I'm just going to blame that ugly brown floor. Maybe there's too much floor. That could be part of the problem. I went too high up behind the chair. Maybe I should have gone a little lower. And certainly the color's off. And here's what's really funny. I used soft suede combo blends, which are now going to be retired as of May 2nd. So I got to pull those from my stash. And it wasn't even until I was voiceovering this video for you that I realized that I did that. So that is my tip on coloring and making something that you're not quite in love with. So just stick with it and keep going. Don't give up, because I will go ahead and use this card. If I give this to my niece for her birthday, she's 8. She's not going to care. She's not going to be like, this brown floor. She don't care. So here's another tip for you. Instead of going to my stash and pulling out a bunch of different solid cardstock colors, I just grabbed a piece of my white that was sitting right there on my table, and I die cut all of these elements, and then I colored them with my Stampin' Blend markers that I already had sitting on my desk. This is just pure laziness. However, it turns out that it's also a really fun tip for you. I have more white scrap, cardstock scraps than I know what to do with at this point. And they are overflowing out of their bin. I'm going to have to do a video for you guys on ways to use up your white cardstock scraps. So drop me a comment in the video section, the comments section below the video, and let me know if you have this problem too. If you have a ton of white cardstock scraps, because boy howdy do I. There's a lot. So here I use the bronze marker to color my little stool. So again, I started out with a white die cut and then I just colored it. This is a fantastic way to use up your white scraps and to get all of your colors and the feel to match, because when you color something versus when you cut solid cardstock, it does look different. So if you're going for a different look rather than a solid cardstock, this is an option as well. So here I'm just going to add the little stool right next to the little drama llama. That's what I'm calling her, little drama llama. And I do have to say, I absolutely love the way I colored her and the chair. So going back really quick to coloring her, I colored her in gray granite, her whole body in light gray granite. And then I came in with dark gray granite and I just kind of did some stippling, which is just like little dots kind of all over her coat so that she would appear more textured instead of just coloring her flat. And I think it turned out fabulous. For her arms, legs, and face, I used the medium Stampin' blends. And then for her cheeks, I used Flirty Flamingo to give her a little bit of cheeky. And then I just felt like her dramatic eyelashes and eyelids needed blue eyeshadow. So I gave her balmy blue eyeshadow. Now these teeny, 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 tiny flowers that go in the teeny, teeny, tiny vase, I colored the stems with Parakeet Party, I think it was, and the top with Highland Heather. And then I am going to die cut the vase as well. And I'm going to color that with Highland Heather. Okay, while I finish the card, let's have some story time. What is happening this week? So over the last week, I'll just fill you in on what's been going on. I've had an extremely busy week. I feel like every week is busy, but this week, I'm going to tell you, I put my nose to the grindstone for work. I did all kinds of work-related stuff. Am I ever caught up? No, it doesn't even happen. And then I also had a bunch of like random things. So I had to take my husband's truck to the mechanic. The exhaust manifold and both exhaust manifold needed to be replaced or fixed or something. I don't know. I don't speak boy. And then the exhaust pipe, I guess, has a crack in it or something. So that's going somewhere else to get fixed now. So I had to at least get the one part fixed for him because he was at work. So I had to do that. My sister graciously ran me around and helped me get to and fro. And then the other thing I had to do this week is I had to take Skeeter to the vet. I actually did that today while I'm voiceovering. Well, before I voiceovered. She had to get her heart guard shot. And let me tell you what kind of dogs I have. I get to the vet, okay, and I go in, and she immediately, like, as soon as I sit down, she immediately goes, Mom, this place is a problem, and climbs into my lap, like, full force. Now, mind you, this dog is 42 pounds. I know she's 42 pounds because they weighed her today, 42.2 to be exact. So she climbs into my lap like a little infant and decides to lay in my lap and growl the entire time. I don't know who she thinks she's going to growl at. There was a big old Rottweiler in the room, and I'm like, yeah, he would take you, honey, so just calm down. So she's growling real low, like that low grumble growl, you know? And the vet tech comes out, and she's like, so we're going to take her now. And I was like, okay. And I know these people very well. And they go to take her leash to walk her back. And she's like, not happening. I'm not going anywhere with you. So the vet tech, Kaylee, sorry about my head in the video, by the way. The vet tech, Kaylee, is like, yeah, I'm just going to pick her up. So this woman scoops this dog up like a baby and carries her into the back. And here's our finished card, by the way. I'm just going to add a few embellishments. And wink of Stella. So she takes her back. She gets her heart guard shot. we're good to go. I pay the bill, we leave. I also got a massage this morning. Something that I have been dealing with that I haven't talked to you guys about at all, because it's really not that big of a deal, is that I've got tendonitis in my right arm, my right hand, wrist area. So I do get massages every couple of weeks for my back, and now she's working on my arm, and it's to be expected. I'm on a computer or working little parts and pieces and, making cards. That's what I do for a living. My mom has carpal tunnel. I expected at some point to have some sort of issue, probably with my hands, arms type situation, but I'm treating it. We're doing lots of fun things for it, and it'll be fine. So I have that. It's just been a lot of running around this week, to and fro. I would love to know how your week went, what you guys have been up to. Nala is doing great, by the way, for those who have asked. Our new horse, she's doing awesome, and the pigs are great too. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.